What's going on, guys? Joe with Odyssey Off-Road here. So today, something a little bit different. We're going to do an unboxing review of the new Badlands Offroad Jack. So this jack has drawn a lot of attention because it really resembles the Pro Eagle Jack, which has been around for quite a while now. Really the only other off-road jack up until this point. But the difference is here with the Badlands Jack is this jack only is offered right now in a 3-ton jack. The Pro Eagle offers many different sizes, of course. But if you compare the two price-wise, this is significantly cheaper than the Pro Eagle 3-ton jack. And based on what I've seen, I was at the SEMA show when Harbor Freight unveiled this jack. We happened to just be there. We didn't know it was happening. There was a little bit of a commotion, kind of, so to speak. They unveiled it, and there was many people kind of in the Pro Eagle camp, not knocking Pro Eagle, but I guess weren't too pleased with the release of this jack because people feel like it's a copy. If you look at the details of the jack itself, it's really not a carbon copy at all. They're built completely different. I looked at both of them at the SEMA show. They're not built the same at all. They resemble each other, and there's only so many ways you can produce a jack or produce a product without resembling something else. So this jack here, really, from all the research I've done, well, I've seen a couple. There's a couple other YouTube videos on there where they compare them on YouTube where they compare them side to side, and the only part that they share is the wheels. They both use the same exact wheels. I don't know if they get them from the same manufacturer, but they both share the same exact wheels. Other than that, the jacks are produced and built completely different. This jack here, the Badland Jack from Harbor Freight, actually has 2 certifications posted right on the box. And I'll grab the camera and I'll kind of give you a little bit of a close-up, and then we'll unbox it and show you. But there's 2 certifications that they brag about, the ASME and the PASE certifications that I've been unable to find on the Pro Eagle website for their jacks. And for the cost that they sell their jacks at, you would think they would have these same certifications. Now, what that means to the average consumer, I don't know. But I can tell you that this jack is quality built jack. I've seen it in person at the SEMA show. I've seen other tests on it. There's a guy on YouTube where he beats the hell out of one, buys it just to pretty much trash it and see if he could break it, threw it out of the back of a truck, and it held up. It, worked good. And compared it side by side with Pro Eagle. So you guys can do a YouTube search and look for those videos too. There is a couple out there. This one here is just going to be my take on it, an unboxing. Kind of, we'll do some measurements to show you how high that the jack will go, and at the measurements at the lowest point when the jack's all the way down, so you can kind of get an idea whether or not the jack is right purchase for you. I would imagine at some point, if this jack sells well for them, they'll produce, maybe a 2-ton version or a 1.5-ton version, just to kind of have multiple sizes. But right now, initial introduction, and I spoke to the gentleman who actually designed it for Harbor Freight at the SEMA show, and he said for right now, just they want to see how good this 3-ton jack sells. So I think it's going to be a big hit, because if any of you out there are like myself, I've wanted to get a Pro Eagle Jack forever. I have this old standard floor jack, 3-ton floor jack from a Sears brand, Craftsman. It's well over 20 years old, and it's endured the test of time. But I've wanted a more of an off-road style jack where you can jack up your trucks or UTVs, ATVs without having to stack blocks of wood and all that stuff on it. So the Pro Eagle, though, in all honesty, has just been, I wasn't willing to spend $600 on a 3-ton jack. So this here is $299, and with introductory price. There was a coupon. I think we paid, my wife actually purchased this for me for Christmas. And I think with the coupon and whatnot, and pre-ordering it, she paid about $268 out the door with tax. So you can't beat that for the price and the build quality. So let's get the camera turned around, kind of show you the box, and we'll unpackage it and see what it looks like, get it put together. So you can see some of the numbers on the box. 6,000 pound rated. Obviously that's 3 tons. A ton is 2,000 pounds. And there's the maximum lift height, advertised 29 1/16 and 6 1/4 minimum lift height. So that's what they're advertising. We're going to put that to the test. We'll jack it up and see if those numbers are accurate and what they're advertising. And then you see there the certifications. And if you go on the Harbor Freight website, they're directly comparing this jack to Pro Eagle and the benefits of it, and you know what it's better than, according to them, than the Pro Eagle. Obviously price, we all know that, but they're really touting the certifications. What they actually mean, I don't know. They are, according to them, industry safety standards. Now, if the Pro Eagle had those same certifications, you would think they'd be pretty proud to post that. But I haven't been able to find any of those certifications on their website for the Pro Eagle Jack. Maybe they just haven't subjected their Jack to that type of testing because they feel it's not warranted. But now with them having some competition, I would think they would want to do that moving forward. So let's get this thing unboxed, and we'll see what she looks like. We'll see how much is involved in putting it together. From my understanding, it's just pretty much throwing the wheels on it, and we should be good to go. So let's take a look. Alright, so owner's manual and safety instructions in here. And then seems to be packaged pretty well. You got a little bag of hardware, wrench, and a clamp. The clamp, I believe, is to hold the extension for the top of the jack when you're not using it. Set that aside here for a moment. Around the bottom, I should say, so you can see what we're working with. So there's 4 big washers, 4 nylock nuts, 2 little Allen head screws, and 2 lock washers. So it shouldn't be too much install. Got 2 big wheels, and what is this? A little piece of broken plastic I found here. So hopefully it's not from any of the wheels. Well, it doesn't appear. Maybe it just fell in when they were packaging it from something else. Somebody got something missing on one of theirs, because there's a broken piece of plastic. It was kind of just sitting on top of the wheel. It's from nothing of mine, so I'm going to assume we should be good to go based on what I'm seeing. I don't see anything broken or cracked. There's a little piece of broken plastic I found in here, so. All right, and there's the jack, the way it's packaged. Packaged pretty well. I'll get it out of the box here. It's a heavy piece. Put everything else out. Got the pole, handle, 2 pieces. Get this set aside. So you'll see, you got the handle up here. Kind of like the Pro Eagles are, so you can carry the jack, pick it up, move it around. If you gotta pick it up, you take it someplace, put it in the back of your truck or what have you. Alright, so according to the diagram and instructions, this bracket here is gonna sit right up here. There's 2 holes right here, and that's just where it's going to sit, and that'll be the 2 small screws with the lock washers that were provided to attach those. So we'll get an Allen head, and we'll get these installed. Comes with the 2 lock washers. Alright, so what you're going to use is it's a 4mm Allen head. I prefer the ones that go on the ratchet. Kind of gives you a little more reach and maneuverability, but you can use whatever you have. Obviously, regular Allen key will work fine. Just use that to get it started. It's gotta be, you want to be careful. You don't want to drop the screw and the washer down in there, and where the hydraulic pump is. Probably be a pain in the neck to get it out. So they're started. Gonna put them in snug. I got lock washers on, so I'm not worried about them coming loose. I want to put them on snug. Again, this stuff's aluminum that's screwing into, so you don't want to be stripping it out. Don't crank it out too hard. The snug is fine. No, I don't need to act like a gorilla. And that'll do it for that. And then I guess next step really is just going to put the wheels on. That should be fairly easy. We have 4 washers and 4 wheels and 4 nuts. So I can't imagine this is going to take much rocket science to figure out. But imagine the washers go on the outside, but we'll just double check the instructions. So the big wheels are going to go in the back. You have a nut and a washer. I don't see a difference in inside and outside of the wheels. So they appear to be pretty neutral offset. Then we're going to put some washers and the nuts. Get those started. They give you a little wrench. I think I'm going to use a socket just to make this a little quicker. And the socket's a 19mm. So, again, just want to make these snug. They're nylock nuts, so that should be good. Probably hold this side so that the axle doesn't spin. Make sure it's fully good, snug down. And it seems to be golden. Let's get the front ones on. Again, with the fronts, there's no weird offset. Okay. Get our washers on. Pretty good. And that's pretty much it there. Now it's just really put the extension pull in. All right, guys, so there is, before you put the handle in, there's a little block that comes in. Instructions don't say anything about it that I've seen, but it's pretty obvious you gotta pop it out. It just kind of holds the handle pump down in a flat position for shipping purposes. Just get a long screwdriver or something and just pop it out, pry it out. It's a little plastic block. And then this will come up. You have here is a lock right here, the handle. If you unlock it, you get full range. If you put the lever down, it's going to lock the handle in the middle position, right there, and it won't be able to go up or down on you. The handle will kind of just stay that way. Pull it up. There you go. I'm going to loosen the pin here and insert the bottom of the handle with the pad. Tighten the pin. And then we can add the extension to it. That's it. Like a standard jack, you know, you turn it to tighten to get pump action, and then to the left, counterclockwise to lower. So let's see how this thing works. The instructions say something about bleeding the pump. So we're going to take a further look at that, and then we'll see if that's something we need to do before the first use, or if that's just periodic maintenance. All right, guys, so what the instructions tell you to do is basically, it's not in the setup instructions, but it's in the operation instructions for periodically checking the hydraulic fluid. You just want to make sure the pump is fluid in there and it's not too low of a level. So right in front of where this handle goes, this is the pump, and this is a little chrome screw, flat blade screwdriver. I pulled mine out, checked it. It's full of hydraulic fluid, so doesn't need anything. It's probably a smart thing to do, just to check your jack and snoot. Just like your car or your ATV or, you know, your side-by-side when you purchase them. It's always smart to check the fluids and those as well, because things happen in manufacturing, you never know. Sometimes something gets shipped out and it's not filled up with the proper amount of fluid, and you don't want to damage your brand new piece of equipment you just bought. So the only other thing is in this, if you're going to use it, would be the saddle extension. So it's going to sit right here. There's two holes on the saddle. And if you turn it, obviously this moves a little bit, you can see. If you turn it, it'll line up with some threaded holes in the base. So if you stick this on there and you crank this down, again, this will use an Allen head. It'll attach, it'll kind of thread into the bottom. If you're using this for off-road purposes or to jack up your truck, you're probably going to have this on more often than not. And so this one, it's a 10 millimeter. I'm going to use our extension. Just get it in snug. Just kind of show you guys. It threads in most of the way by hand, but this one here, I had a little bit of something in the threads, I think. So just going to put it on snug. You don't want to crank the hell out of it, because if you want to take it off, you don't want it to be stuck in there. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just kind of keep it put. And then you have your extension here that can go at various heights, I believe. Yep, so there's 3 different height settings here. That's obviously your lowest one. And let's get a tape measure. We'll do the settings and see what the height is with the jack all the way down. Then we'll kind of pump it up max, and we'll see where we got. All right, guys, so what I do is I got a tape measure. We'll measure the jack before we jack it up. You can see the handle's fully released. It's all the way down. And we'll kind of see where you're at. Lowest point with the extension at its lowest setting. Or if you're not using the extension, and then we'll kind of raise the 2 settings and see what heights you are at minimum with those. So we're looking at from, it's hard to tell on camera, but you're at about 6 inches, lowest point to the base of this plate here. So right here, before we put the extension on, is about 6 inches. With the extension on and at its lowest setting, we're at about 11.5. So let's put it up to the next one. Comes with the pin. So at second setting, we're at just shy of 13, about 12 7/8. And then at the highest setting, obviously without the jack being jacked up, we're looking at 14. So 14 inches. So right off the bat here, if you got a vehicle that's this high off the ground, and you have this as, you use this extension, you have it at its highest setting here, you're at 14 inches before you even have to start pumping the handle. So that gives you a lot of ability to jack up vehicles with high, a lot of suspension travel. You can get the jack right up tight to the bottom of the vehicle, before you even have to start pumping the handle. So let's see how much height we get now with pumping the handle and how high we can get it. See how fast it jacks up. It seems to go pretty quick. That's 2 pumps. So that's what she said. So 2 pumps, we're already up to 19 inches. So what do we say, 14 before that? So we're already up 5 inches in 2 pumps. So let's do 3 pumps. So 3 pumps, we're at 21.5 inches. So it seems to be about 1.5 to 2 inches per pump on the handle. Let's see what we got max. So it goes up fairly quick. I like that already. The last jack I had, mainly due to age, but also just from when it was built, they didn't have as advanced hydraulic pumps as they do today. It took forever to jack it up. So now that's max. What was that, 5 pumps? We'll try that again and see and count. But we're at 29 inches. So what does the box say? Box says 29 1/16 inch. So let's see if that's accurate. Yeah, that's pretty dead on accurate. I'm at about right to the top of the rubber pad here. I'm at 29 1/16. So advertised height is pretty accurate. And what did we say before? It was 6 inches about to the bottom of the base with it all the way down. The box advertised is 6 1/4. So just at the angle I was looking at it, it could be 6 1/4, but it's between 6 and 6 1/4. So the advertised heights on the box is dead on accurate based on what we're measuring here. Let's lower it all the way down, and then we'll count how many pumps it takes full maximum height. And I'll kind of take the camera off the tripod and give you a closer up of the jack so you can see the build quality of it. So all the way down, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6.5 pumps. That's all she needs. So let's take a measurement to the base pad and see what you got here. So if you weren't using it with the extension, at full height, you would be 21.5 inches. So you can use it without the base and still go up to 21.5 inches. Pretty good for, like, say, an ATV or something like that. And if you have your long travel side-by-sides and stuff, or a truck with big lifted tires, obviously you don't want to use that extension. Get as close as possible. So you got really quite the extension makes it nice because you got such a variance of different heights you can work with. Seems like it's going to work out well, especially for my needs. The lock here, if you flip it down, kind of just locks the handle. So if you got something jacked up and it's holding, you don't got to worry about, the handle getting pushed down, something moving, you're banging into it. It locks the handle in place. So it can't go up or down. You can't pump it if you have something jacked up to a certain point when you want to leave it there. Obviously, I recommend you use jack stands, stabilize your vehicle if you're going to be working under it. But this is kind of an added safety, which is nice. Pull that up, lower it down. Get the camera off the tripod, kind of give you a little bit of a close-up, and we'll get the, let's get this extension off and kind of show you what it looks like out if you weren't going to use it. So, I believe this is meant to hold the entire contraption with the base plate. So, because you got this holding screw here. Well, we'll take a closer look at the instructions here and then kind of give you an idea. All right, guys. So, I was fiddling around with the extension. And then you can see what I was talking about on camera before. If you spin the base pad, you turn it to there, it lines up with the threaded holes down here in the base so that you can screw those into. And it actually is, so that bracket that we put on first actually holds the entire unit right here. You'll see this big screw. If you undo that, there's two holes in the back of the base plate. So if you have it either way up or down, gives you, and then it just, as you screw it in, it's got little notches there. It's meant so these screws can kind of just hang out in there. And then it'll just pull it in tight, and you can clamp it down. If you want to, if you're going to use it, this way you don't, take something off. You'll see it's screwed in, so it's not going to come off. If you unscrew it, right here, and then you can kind of get it on there. You'll see where the holes are. Get them to where they line up. You'll feel them drop in there. Then you can kind of just start threading it in by hand. So, I'll say it's that easy to put it on and off. So I'll give you a little close up here of the quality of it. It's definitely well built. It's solid. It doesn't look like it was put together cheaply or made with cheap parts. It seems like it's going to be very durable. The wheels and the bearings roll nice. I like the fact that they give you the clamp right here. You can hold everything. There's the bleed screw for your pump. So if you want to periodically, pull that out, top it off with hydraulic fluid if you need to. Check it. I would imagine if you don't have any leaks, you shouldn't be losing hydraulic fluid. But it's always good to check periodically. Maintain it. For $300, you want to make sure your stuff's working right and it's got the right amount of fluid in it. But that should be, I don't think I ever checked the hydraulic fluid in my old Jack. And it looks like here, which I missed, they give you an Allen key. So this will work for putting that extension on. You don't even need to bring any extra tools. They give it to you, and it just slips. Well, it slipped in. Let's see if we can get it to, there you go. And just holds it right there. So that's nice. So if you're taking this with you someplace, to a racetrack or off-road, event, going to the dunes, you're going on a trip with your buddies to go wheeling for the weekend, and you want to take this because you're swapping tires or to be able to work on your machines, you don't have to worry about taking the next one less tool you need. You don't need to worry about that Allen head. It's already on there. You bring your jack with your extension in there, and you're good to go. If you need to put it on, you have everything you need. So it's pretty nice. It's heavy. It's solid built. I'm thrilled to have it. Like I said, I'm coming from a Jack that was probably about 20 years old. It was an old Craftsman. It was my father's. Sat outside for many years and barely worked. I just got rid of it the other day. Once I got the call from Harbor Freight that this thing had arrived. It was in the store ready for pickup, and I tossed that other one in the garbage. Picked this one up yesterday, and there you have it. So we did the measurements. It is as advertised. I'll kind of, if something is to go south with this thing, you guys will be the first to know. I'll let you know. But it's a nice unit. It's big for a 3-ton. Let me measure the length of it for you, so you kind of get an idea of the size of it. So with the wheels on it, overall length, you're looking at about 31 inches. End of the wheels. Without the wheels on it, you know, just the body is about 26.5. And then the width is 7 inches from the body and about 12.5 with the wheels. So there you have it. The pump height, the pump handle is the 2 pieces with the extension is about 56. So 56 inches there. And that's it. That's the unboxing and kind of little overview of the new Badlands Offroad Jack. I think it's a nice piece. I think it's well worth it. I don't think it's necessary to spend, you know, $550 to $600 on a comparable brand. Pro Eagle. I know some people are gonna tout the Pro Eagle was first. I gotta buy that one. I'll just point this out to you too if you guys are interested in, you know, American built and made products. There's no information at all on the Pro Eagle website that indicates that that jack is built in the United States. So it's not as if you're buying a jet one that's built in the United States and the other one that's not. They both seem to be American companies that designed them here in America and had them built overseas. Both jacks appears to be the case with both of them. So you're not getting a American-made product and spending an extra $200 if that's what you're thinking. There's no information. I could be wrong, but there's no information on the Pro Eagle website, again, for those 2 certifications and the fact that it's built in the United States. So why you need to spend an extra $200 on comparable jack, which is built completely different. If you put these 2 side by side, I wish I had one here, you would see the design elements and all that are completely different. The only thing it shares the same of, even the pump design is different. The only thing it shares the same is the wheels. They're the exact same tires. Other than that, that's it. So thanks for watching this one, guys. Follow us on Instagram, Odyssey_offroad. And go out, pick yourselves up a Badlands 3-ton off-road jack. I recommend it based on, you know, initial impressions. Seems to be a nice unit. It's going to work out great for me. Rotating the tires on the Red Beast and then working on all the quads. It would have been great for the side-by-side, especially with the KRX jacking it up with all that suspension travel. I wish I had it then. I was Mickey Mouse in the old jack with blocks of wood. So this would have been nice to have at that point, but we'll still need this for plenty of other things and for future vehicles, I'm sure. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the videos, like them, and we'll see you guys on the next one.